All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the East Liverpool Alumni Association's amazing clock tower. More on that story in a moment. But it's just about time for the 4th of July, 2016. And also, it's time to call all of you back home to this great town of East Liverpool, you alumni, because it's another all-school reunion. Many people involved. My good friend Tom Snow, his lovely daughter Heidi, and of course this man, Digger Dawson. Namesake, of course, to that Dawson funeral home that I love so much. Let's talk about the clock tower, which was at the old high school before they moved up on the hill many years ago.
That's right. The old Central School is here, Rob. It was taken down in the late 60s. For many years, there was a vacant lot here. As part of that demolition, the Kiwanis Club of East Liverpool were able to save the clock faces, the bell, and all the parts of the clock. And we labored over many, many years to try to get it back up and reach consensus. And finally, we organized the East Liverpool High School Alumni Association in the late 80s. They put together not only enough money to put the tower back up, restore the clock, but now we have about $1.3 million in scholarship money that the alumni of East Liverpool High School have put together. So it's a real proud thing. And then every 6 years we come together. And this happens to be maybe my last. I don't know.
I hope not. Listen, pottery capital of the world, East Liverpool, Ohio, for many years. And, of course, our good friend Joe Wells Jr., Trey Wells, Homer Laughlin, still a big part of this economy. But back when you were starting this, so was Crucible Steel. But that industry was going away, and you still found a way to make the magic happen. But you've got Shell in this proposed petrochemical plant. I'm their biggest cheerleader. The Valley, the tri-state, truly needs that investment, don't they, Frank?
Oh, absolutely. And we've had some success. The Newcastle School of Trade is going to be a big boom for us up in the old Ogilvy's 5 and 10 Ogilvy department store area. And we've had some other exciting things happen. And we're looking forward to bringing the old town back.
Now listen, the Pirates, of course, the Nutting family, and where I really learned a lot about sports was from that paper that they happen to own, and I love, the East Liverpool Review. It's just down the street. Talk about the Nutting family and what they've meant to this community.
Well, they've been very generous with our Holtz Hall of Fame, and the newspaper, of course, gets behind so many things here. The sports, the social scene, news, and we're proud to still be able to have our own hometown newspaper. We lost our radio station, unfortunately, and lost one of our great broadcasters too, Steve Klein, who you worked with many years. And Steve was
good man,
such a great guy on our local station. Play-by-play, Patterson Field on Friday nights. So.
Okay, now we're going to talk about this all-school reunion. Listen, I've been to a lot of parties in my life, and I haven't been to one of these in over a decade. But the last time I was here, I'm like, doesn't anybody turn the lights off in this town? It is. I've never seen anything like it. It's one of the most incredible couple of days. It'll be July 1st and 2nd. The Old Guard actually shows up on Thursday in June the 30th, and then they roll right through to some wonderful goodbyes and breakfasts on Sunday the 3rd, and you have plenty of time to get home and celebrate the 4th. But if you're a graduate of this amazing school system, and those teachers do a great job at East Liverpool High School, if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. But if not, come back, because the town doesn't sleep, does it?
It doesn't, and just the highlight, really, even though Saturday night is the 2nd of July this year, we do have our ceremony right here in front of the clock tower, naming our distinguished alums, and we'll have an alumni band, alumni choir. I don't care if you're from Mars. If you come here on Saturday afternoon,
the parade's amazing.
We have an alumni parade. Every class is in the parade. They all try to outdo each other. They try to carry out a theme. For instance, classes, when Nixon was president last year, did a Nixon float. You'll have a rock and roll float. You'll have even back to class. Our oldest graduate is 100 years old, Dr. Herschel Rubin. So we do have a special float for the Old Guard, but Herschel says, well, I will be in the parade, but I don't think I can march this year. So, but the parade is wonderful.
Now listen, I got to say one other thing. You know, I'm a big fan of the steel industry and Andrew Carnegie. And here's something for you that you might not know. And I was blown away when I found this out a couple of years ago. And I was looking for the old chairman CEO the man that really baptized me in Andrew Carnegie, John Surma, who ran that amazing company for many years. I wanted to find him just to tell him, Andrew Carnegie, and there's a library right over our shoulder, his namesake, but he lived here for a while.
He lived in a house right around the corner here with some relatives. Andrew Carnegie did live in East Liverpool. And another little known fact is that Joe Wells Sr., who was the real forerunner of Joe Jr. and Joe III, who won the U.S. Amateur and I think was 3 times Pennsylvania Amateur Golf Champion out of Oakmont.
Yep.
Was a graduate of this school with a class of 1906. So we just pulled that out of the archives.
You know, I would go to Trey's office and they would show me that, you know, that foursome picture that you get the standard shot at any golf course. Well, it was Oakmont. And I would be like the deer in the headlights just looking at it thinking, there's my friends and there's Oakmont. Truly historic. But, you know, we took a trip to Riverview Cemetery we're going to show you something here right after this, and to pay tribute to Memorial Day. And we drove by, and I love that cemetery. They do such a wonderful job. But Frank Mangano, of course, Ogilvy's, he was in the chemical business for years, refurbishing old chemical manufacturing plants. Also, the owner of the radio station, just did so many wonderful things for this community and paid it forward. And the track, obviously, up on the hill named in his honor. But Margaret Locke, for many years, Locke Jewelers, which was a must for anybody who had a special occasion and really wanted to do it the right way. They're gone now, but it's hard not to think of them when you think of events like this, right?
They were founders and big contributors to this project. Frank Mangano was a major contributor, as were the Locks, and actually made recreated a class ring for anyone who'd lost their ring or given it to their girlfriend. And they're collector's items now. The Jim Locke had designed it by Balfour, but they were very active in the alumni.
Listen, before we go, just talk about growing up in this town. What was it like? Your dad, obviously, a funeral director, Pretty Boy Floyd. We all know that story. Embalmed him, buried him, Sturgis House, a long time, wonderful bed and breakfast. That was the funeral home. And then, of course, he started the Dawson Funeral Home. But what was it like growing up in this town?
Well, I think we were like a lot of the small towns in the Upper Ohio Valley. We had 4 movie picture theaters. We had 7 furniture stores. We had 19 Greek restaurants. Greek businesses, restaurants, shoe shine parlors. We had a wonderful Jewish contingent here.
You had a synagogue here.
We had 3 synagogues. One was right behind this building. Doctors, lawyers, Ben Feldman, the world's greatest life insurance salesman, came here. But things change. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. But remember this.
Yes, sir.
History repeats itself.
So greatness will return. Listen, how should people really, the best advice I can give everybody out there, just come down, right?
Well, and be lucky to find a parking place.
I'm parking in Dawson Way. Save me a parking spot. Listen, I love coming here, and I can't tell you enough what this place means to me. I haven't been here for a while, but as soon as I come home, it feels just like that, home again. Don't forget, it is the All-School Reunion 2016, and it starts on July 1st. We'll see you in Pottertown, everybody. Have a